joining. This is Live with Miami's Community News, and today we're going to be talking about trash with Frank Calderon from the Miami-Dade Solidwaste Department. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
So it's holiday season, and people want to know who's going to pick up my garbage and when. So let's talk about that.
Well, the good news this year, for those who want their garbage to be picked up all the time, is that Christmas falls on a Wednesday. So we generally don't pick up garbage on Wednesdays. We pick up Monday. Most of our customers are on a Monday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Friday schedule. So garbage pickup really shouldn't be affected for most of our customers. However, recycling can get a little bit confusing, and we do have some customers that get full service from us. I want to say Sweetwater and recycling as well. And then we have other customers that get recycling only from us, but not their garbage. I think South Miami is one, in Miami Beach. And what's going to happen there is it will not be picked up on Christmas Day, but they will have a makeup the following Saturday. So the Saturday after Christmas, they will pick up recycling. So put your card out by 7 a.m. Please don't wait and put it out later and then put it out before 7 a.m.
So if they had a regular schedule for pickup for Wednesday,
if your day falls on Wednesday for recycling pickup,
because that's every 2 weeks.
Yes, and if we miss one, then it's another 2 weeks. So during that same
week, that 7-day calendar, they'll be out on Saturday.
The Saturday of that week, yes.
So everybody should put it out.
Those whose day falls, please don't. If your day falls on a Thursday, please don't tell us he told me to put it out. Please.
And if you really want to piss your neighbor out, put it out way early.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So again, so what about New Year's? Tell us about that.
New Year's pickup. We don't take administrative. I say we. I'll be off. The administrative offices are off that day, but operations are open. So we pick up garbage and recycling on a normal. Well, actually, again, Wednesday. We pick up on a normal schedule. Recycling will be picked up on New Year's Day. The only holiday where we don't pick up recycling is Christmas Day, and the only 3 holidays where we don't pick up garbage is Martin Luther King Day, which is early January, actually, or mid-January, July 4th, Independence Day, and Christmas Day.
So here's one of the things we know with the big companies that ship these huge boxes, and at Christmas time, it used to only be one set of boxes, right? Would be the manufacturer's box. So most folks, if they have a family, they're not going to be able to squish all that stuff into either of the cans. So what happens if they try to squish those cardboard boxes, those beautiful cardboard boxes that were only used one time, that you can open perfectly? What should they do so that it won't disrupt the flow of their pickups?
Ideally, well, if you're enterprising, I know that a lot of people aren't going to go to this trouble. Cut it if you can, so it fits in the cart, or at least fold it, break it down and fold it so it fits in the cart. Try not to wedge it in there too hard, because if you jam it in there too hard, when they come to pick it up, it's going to be hard for it to come out of the cart.
We experiment with that all the time with all the boxes we get here. You can only put in a couple boxes, realistically, unless you take them and you
break them down. Yeah,
we always break our stuff down.
That's why we tell people to break it down.
So break it down, and it's easier to do that than to get a blade. To be able to do that.
Yeah.
So we can recycle boxes, right?
Yes.
So they could actually
high demand, actually.
All right. For the
cardboard, yeah.
So they put it in the green
the blue
blue
recycling card.
And if they're really anxious about getting it out of their house, all right, they can always put it in the other one, or they can wait 2 weeks, right, for the next recycling.
They can do it one way or the other.
So, but if people really want to feel good about themselves, all right, put the ones pick up on Saturday, whatever day it is, and 2 weeks later they can throw out the rest of the box. If they put them into the green carts,
it will not be recycled.
And it won't be recycled. So for the folks that are thinking, oh, it's going to get recycled, it only gets recycled if it goes into the blue can, right? So here we are at the end of December. There are plenty of people out there that have never used their bulky waste pickup for a variety of reasons, but this would be a good time that they can go and they can check on, tell them how they can check on it.
They have until, and the way it works now is regardless of the day of the appointment, because you're going to start seeing appointments fall into January at this time of the year, regardless of when it falls, as long as you get yours in by December 31st, before the ball drops, then you should be good. I wouldn't chance it and wait till just 2 minutes before, only because sometimes computer systems are slow. The network traffic on a computer, it may not go through. I'd do it maybe an hour before if I was going to wait till the last minute, but you can theoretically wait till almost the last minute to get your last pickup, and it'll be, even if it's actually the pickup actually takes place in January, as long as you put it in before midnight, January 31st, it'll count for this year. So you won't start using the ones for next year until
people can
later.
call 311, or they can go to where? To miamidade.gov?
They can go miamidade.gov, yes.
And
/ solid waste.
And it's really neat. They got a house there. They ask you where the garbage is. Very, very effective. The guys, when they've been out to our house, they've really done an exceptional job.
A word of caution for those who want to plan a party at their house for Christmas or for Noche Buena or for New Year's or whatever, and you want it to be picked up by then, check now to see. I don't even know. I tried to check the availability myself. I live in a condo, so I had to plug in a fake address, but it asked so many questions now online that it was like, okay, I don't want to put somebody else on the hook by accident. So I stopped. But I wasn't able to go far enough to see how far, the bookings are right now. I would at least check if you're planning, the cleanup before, and get a feel for how much time you're going to have, because
people can set an appointment that it's here. If it's available, you can do that.
Because that's the thing.
And they get a return email. You've been scheduled for this day. And the computer also asks you what type of trash, what type
of material. Yeah.
So what should people not put in that?
Well, let me see. Pretty much anything liquid. Paints, electronics shouldn't go in. The stuff that typically you want to go in, appliances, furniture, household garbage, like the garbage from your kitchen, shouldn't go in. Appliances, furniture are okay. They allow you to put used tires, I think a limit of 4. They want them separated a little bit. They allow you to have up to 3 cubic yards. A cubic yard is about the size of a washing machine of construction and demolition debris. So if you did any end of the year DIY projects, like maybe change out the bathroom or whatever yourself, and you have a little bit of material left over, you can put that out there as well. Tree clippings, lawn clippings, vegetation from the yard, those sort of things are okay.
So again, tell us what people can see on the county website in solid waste.
On the county website for solid waste, we have a lot of stuff. We have information on waste collection, disposal. We have information on our TRCs where you can do DIY, and if you don't want to call in for bulky pickup, if you have a small amount, it may be worth it to just go to TRC and drop it off there. And that's, again, stuff like vegetative waste from your yard, furniture, appliances, things like that are accepted at the TRC. Some of the TRCs, and the TRCs are only open to our customers for waste collection, but some of the TRCs also will accept the electronic waste. You should check first. You can call 311 or visit our website, miamidade.gov/solid waste, to find out which ones, but all of them are going to accept vegetation, furniture, and appliances and stuff like that. Well, not all. Wait a minute. Let me backtrack. Not all of them will accept appliances either. Just check first.
You can check ahead of time.
Yes.
So what sort of identification does somebody need so to make sure that they have it before they go? Because if they're waiting 15 minutes in line and they're going to get turned around, not a very happy day.
No. Right? Well, first of all, make sure you're not in any vehicle with any commercial markings on it, because they'll assume you're commercial.
ABC landscaping.
Yes. Well, the landscapers are allowed, but there's a special program for them. They have to buy tickets in advance that they get for each time they dump. Yes. They are the only exception, but make sure otherwise you're not, especially if you're doing it from your house, don't use your commercial vehicle, because they're going to turn you around. And make sure you have a driver's license or state ID, because they will scan it. They scan it to make sure that your address matches the customer database, so that you don't have somebody who's not a customer coming in and using the facility.
If you send one of your guys out and his ID was at his home in Broward County, you ain't getting in.
No. Exactly. So it's for residential. It's not for commercial.
So if you were in a company truck, you're an electrician, and it's filled with garbage, all right, you're not getting it.
You're not going to.
The same driver in Miami, it lives in Miami-Dade County, with the appropriate license, he could do it in a non-commercial truck.
In a non-commercial truck, yes, if he's a customer of ours.
So I think it's a great place to take your grandkids. All right, as long as you have somebody else to take the stuff out of the truck.
Yeah.
And you can stand on the back of your pickup truck and look at everybody else's garbage as they're doing it. Hey, give me that over there. I know you used to do that. So at some point, you probably
They
did.
actually don't allow that. They
Is
have
that right?
rule scavenging. They don't allow that.
And so
So if you see something you like, try to get it before they get into the.
and there's some safety concerns with that. So tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, just with throwing out the stuff, they want people to be careful. They definitely don't want anybody jumping and dumpster diving while they're there. That's a no-no. You get caught doing that, you can get in trouble.
So for the people that haven't been there, when you pull up to the ramp and you back up. And so it's probably about 20 feet off the ground. So you back your vehicle up if that's what you want to do. And down below are these
Roll-off containers.
Roll-off containers. They fill up, and then the trucks come and take them. And they take them to the where do they?
To the landfill.
Right to the landfill over there. All right. So here we are. The county has one fully electric truck. Tell us when the next one might be.
I have no idea. I know I can tell you unrelated, related but unrelated. We have a grant that we got from EPA not that long ago, and I don't remember the exact amount, but I want to say it's about 1.9 million for low emission vehicles to replace some of the older vehicles that put out more emissions.
Cars,
but
buses?
not necessarily electric. For our trucks, waste collection trucks.
So it could be something other than electric, but low emissions.
Low emissions,
such
yes.
as what?
There are low diesel emission trucks that exist. Those are allowable. I don't know if they count hybrids, but yeah.
In the old days, whenever we'd be parked driving, there would be some diesel with the black smoke coming out. Was that standard, or were those just bad engines at that point?
I think it was standard back then. It was just what they knew, and they've improved emissions technology since then, so you see less of that. You still see the older trucks, you're going to see the big plume of dark smoke, but you don't see that as much. I certainly don't see it as much as I remember seeing it as a kid.
Okay, so tell us some things that might change and improve in the recycling or solid waste field. Anything coming up?
Well, we're always hopeful that contamination is reduced. We try to educate residents on putting the right materials in for recycling. I can tell you that the technology of separation is getting better and better all the time. They can distinguish different types of plastic. They have optical scanners that'll
the machines,
the machines at the facilities, so that keeps getting better. It's still problematic when we get a lot of material that can't be recycled in the program. But the machines are getting better at sorting that out.
I heard a figure between 30 and 40% of the things that are put into the the blue can are removed. Is that about the right figure-ish?
That is about. I know that we improved after the pandemic kind of really skewed things. I just don't remember if it was from 50 that we went up to 50 and then reduced it to 40, or if we were at 40 and reduced it to 30. I don't remember the exact number right now.
So that's either removed by hand or by machine.
Yeah, what happens is, though, if there's too much, then it's not worth the trouble of sorting out. It goes to the landfill. So that's why we tell people, please make sure not to put if it's only a couple of items, then they might, but if it's too much, then they just have to throw it out. And
I think that if more people knew, if they spent a couple more minutes on what goes in the blue can, that the probability of that all getting recycled is pretty great, instead of putting a bunch of stuff that it's not worth removing that. I keep seeing these stories about other venues throughout the county, throughout the country, to where some of their vendors are able to handle some plastics that we don't do. For instance, all the food trays or plates that we get from when we call Uber or whoever else we call. Do you think there'll be some changes on that, so the things that are commonly used, they will be able to recycle more of those? I don't know for sure. It's possible. As technology improves, we've been able our program, we've been able to accept some additional materials that we weren't in the past. Like we started accepting yogurt cups and tubs and butter tubs. We've started accepting those where we didn't accept those before, and we've been able to accept pizza boxes that are not
overly greasy. Lightly soiled is the official term. We weren't able to accept those in the past, so.
Let's talk about the common Coke can generic, sort of that's that can. Or we put it in there. You make it so that you can like squish it with your hand. It used to be you have to have muscle man.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes. You were a tough guy if you were able to squeeze one. Now it's like anybody can.
So I love hearing the story about typically how long does it take for that Coke can to get recycled?
Well, it can be as little as 6 weeks. Aluminum is a fantastically recyclable material. It can be recycled, from what I understand, infinite times. And the amount of energy used to mine the ore, which is called bauxite ore, for the little trivia here, and it's spelled B-A-U-X-I-T-E, not B-O-X-I-T-E, bauxite ore, to make aluminum. It's a lot more than it costs to recycle, or it's a lot more energy required. I think on the scale, like 90% more than it is than the amount of energy used to recycle aluminum. So
let's have milk cartons are recyclable.
Yes.
Right. The single bottle waters.
And eggnog, this time of year, eggnog cartons can also be recycled.
All the Gatorade, all that stuff is recyclable, right? So we have all that stuff, and if people know, they should put that in. If they don't know, what do you want them to do? Take it.
When in doubt, throw it out.
Because
if you're not sure,
because it's cleaner, and if we could do that a little bit more, we could keep reducing that amount. Because I can imagine the frustration about people that are online. Oh, there's another one. I see what I'm supposed to do is like get more recycled stuff, but it's not enough to make a difference to go through that. So on the line for recycling, they take the stuff that's not recyclable, and they take it, and it winds up going to the landfill.
Basically.
So it gets handled one more time to boot, right?
Yes.
Right. Better if it went into the green can, it would just be done, and they're able to do that. So. Again, so we have Christmas that's coming up, New Year's, all right? We got through Thanksgiving, right? We have a bulky waste pickup. People still have a number of days they can go, and they can still make their appointment. If they don't want to use a computer, they call 311. Yes. And people are very friendly when they do that. Sometimes during the year, the department needs some people to come to work for the solid waste, including for drivers. Tell us about if there are any opportunities right now.
Off the top of my head, I don't think we are looking for drivers specifically at the moment. We generally need them just because, turnover and things like that. The best way to find out is go to miamidade.gov/jobs. The beauty of that is that you will see all county jobs, not just our department. And you can see other jobs that may not involve driving if you're not a driver or if you don't have a CDL. There are other county departments that also need CDL drivers, but we hope if you have, you come to us. But yeah, and there are a lot of jobs, job openings, not just our department, and all the county job openings can be found there, miamidade.gov/jobs, JOBS. So,
and the county has women drivers for the garbage truck.
Yes.
I want to meet some of them. I want them with me when we go out where we're not supposed to. Anyway, so women are there. You teach them how to drive those big trucks, all right? And also, if they have experience, of course, that's helpful. And they operate a joystick to move the claw over there.
Yeah, and they have to drive on the right-hand side, which is interesting. At least while they do their route. They don't have to from wherever the truck is stationed to the route. In fact, the trucks have you can drive on both either side. You can, and the theory of that is that you can drive from the staging or where the trucks are staged to your route on the left side, and then switch over to the right side to do the actual pickup, because you have to look out that mirror on the right to pick up. But some people just drive from the staging area just because they don't want to switch.
Okay, let's talk about if somebody needs another cart because they have produced so much garbage, what should they do?
For a garbage cart, additional garbage cart, there is a fee. This year, I want to say it's about $160, $161. It's an annual fee. The reason being is you're producing more garbage, therefore, it takes more to process it. But you can call 311 to request it. For recycling, we will allow you to have an extra cart at no additional charge for recycling if you recycle a lot. A pro tip on that is, and you can decide how you want to do this. We have 3 sizes of carts. There's a small, medium, large. You may want to get a second. If the small one, if the medium and large is a little too much for you to handle, but you recycle a lot, maybe you get 2 small ones. Or if you recycle a ton of stuff, you can maybe get 2 large ones.
And the charge is the $160 or so. That's not for the can. That's for the service.
That's annual, yeah.
So,
and you can cancel it. If the thing is that once you're on for part of the year, I believe you have to pay for the whole year. But if you decide you don't want it the following year, you can cancel it.
So for those that have the brain like this, you say, okay, we're coming out to your house 2 times a week, right?
Yes.
So 100 plus times a year, right? For $160. Pretty good price.
Yeah, and that's additional. You get the first one, not free, but if the first one is part of your waste fee.
And if their carts are broken, what should they do?
Just call 311. I can't tell you how much people are like, they wonder, and I drive around just taking my son to school in the morning, and I see people put their carts out and they're damaged. There's no lid, there's cracks, and I'm like, just call 311. They'll arrange for it to be replaced or repaired, and they'll come out and they'll do it.
For that. So they call 311.
There's no extra charge for that.
They go online, they'll come out, they survey it, what they need to do, and with the old parts, they put them onto some other machines.
Yes, the old parts that are still usable, they'll recycle them and reuse them whenever they repair their carts.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Frank Calderon from Solid Waste Department, Miami-Dade County. Frank, thank you so much for being here, and happy holidays to you and your family.
Thanks, you too, Michael.
Again, folks, thank you for joining us.